Kruger National Park, in northeastern South Africa, is one of Africa's largest game reserves. Its high density of wild animals includes the Big Five: lions, leopards, rhinos, elephants and buffaloes. Hundreds of other mammals make their home here, as do diverse bird species such as vultures, eagles and storks. Mountains, bush plains and tropical forests are all part of the landscape where nearly 2 million hectares of unrivaled diversity of life forms fuses with historical and archaeological sites. This is Real Africa. The world-renowned Kruger National Park offers a wildlife experience that ranks with the best in Africa. The largest game reserve in South Africa, Kruger National Park is basically a synonym for the word safari. Home to over 500 bird species, 100 reptiles, nearly 150 mammals, multiple archaeological sites, and a stunningly diversity of trees and flowers, Kruger is the country's flagship national park. Adventurers can explore the park in a 4x4, take a bushwalk or fly above in a hot air balloon. The largest game reserve in South Africa, the Kruger National Park is larger than Israel. Nearly 2 million hectares of land that stretch for 352 kilometers, 20,000 square kilometers, from north to south along the Mozambique border, is given over to an almost indescribable wildlife experience. Certainly it ranks with the best in Africa and is the flagship of the country's national parks, rated as the ultimate safari experience. The Kruger National Park lies across the provinces of Mpumalanga and Limpopo in the north of South Africa, just south of Zimbabwe, and west of Mozambique. It now forms part of the Great Limpopo Transfrontier Park, a peace park that links Kruger National Park with game parks in Zimbabwe and Mozambique, and fences are already coming down to allow game to freely roam in much the way it would have in the time before man's intervention. When complete, the Greater Limpopo Transfrontier Park will extend across 35,000 square kilometers, 58% of it South African, 24% Mozambican and 18% Zimbabwean territory. This is the land of baobabs, fever trees, knothorns, marula and mopan trees underneath which lurk the Big Five, the Little Five, buffalo weaver, elephant shrew, leopard tortoise, antlion and rhino beetle, the birding Big Six, ground hornbill, cory bustard, lappet-faced vulture, martial eagle, Pell's fishing owl, and saddle-bill stork, and more species of mammals than any other African game reserve. The Kruger Park is a self-drive destination, although there are guided tour operators, with an excellent infrastructure that includes picnic sites, rest camps, water holes and hides. The Kruger Park is a remarkable reserve offering an incredible experience of Africa at its most wild. See Kruger Park tours for overnight and package tours lasting from 1 night and 2 days to weeks-long safaris, or see Kruger Park day tours for single-day guided trips into Kruger National Park. Very broadly speaking, the Kruger National Park is flat with a few gentle hills, and people tend to classify the bushveld of the Kruger as unvaried and dry, which is rather like saying South Africa is sunny. It conceals an amazingly rich diversity. The Kruger National Park is divided into no fewer than 6 ecosystems: baobab sandveld, labumbo knothorn marula bushveld, mixed acacia thicket, coomberatan silver cluster leaf, woodland on granite, and riverine forest. Encompassing only 30% of the Kruger Park's surface area, the central region supports nearly half the park's lion population as well as numbers of leopard, hyena and cheetah. Possibly the main reason for this is the quantity of sweet grasses and abundant browsing trees found in this area that support a large group of antelope, giraffe, buffalo, zebra and wildebeest. But this does mean that it's a popular region amongst tourists, and subsequently there are a number of camps in this region. It's understandable though, as the chance of sighting even one of the 60 prides of lion that make the central region their home is a huge draw card. Kruger's far north region. This is a rather fascinating part of the Kruger National Park, not least because the ecozones here are noticeably different from other habitats in the Kruger. Sightings of rare birdlife and major areas of sand formed by river floodplains, combined with sandstone formations of the Mozambique coastal plain, make it attractive to visitors. There are also a number of tropical aspects as part of the region lies in a rain shadow, and along the banks of the Leopards River is a series of riverine forest. A picnic site on the riverbank provides hours of splendid bird viewing. What you can witness in this part of the Kruger National Park is extraordinary: the knocking sand frog, a collection of bats, the nocturnal bush pig and the rare Sharp's grizzbok. There are mango monkeys, packs of endangered wild dog, and the major water pans across the Wombeer Sandfield are a good place to sight tropical warm water fish, such as the rainbow killifish, not found anywhere else in South Africa. The Sandstone Hills, just west of Pandamaria, is the only place where you can see the natal red hair and dassy or yellow-spotted hyrax. What makes a visit to this remote part of the Kruger Park so meaningful is the solitude. The northern Kruger Park region north of the Orange River is a semi-arid region covering 7,000 square kilometers that sees very little rain. Vegetation here changes very little from the unvarying shrub mopan, which thrives in hot, low-lying valleys. However, across this great expanse of hot dryness, 5 rivers forge their way, providing narrow corridors along whose banks grow trees distinctly different from the mopan: the nyala, the sycamore fig, the tamboti and the tall apple leaf. The Letaba and Oliphants rivers contain as much as 60% of the Kruger Park's hippo population, and bird life here abounds. There are plenty of bush pig in the undergrowth of the Leopards River, and on most of the river banks you can hope to see sizable herds of elephant. The Kruger National Park's latest estimate is as many as 9,000 of these beautiful beasts: buffalo, bushbuck, impala and kudu concentrated near a water supply. The southern Kruger Park region, bounded by the Crocodile River in the south and the Sabi River in the north, the southern region is also host to the jagged ridge of the Libumbo Mountains along the border with Mozambique, and the highest point in the park, Cans Live, in the southwestern corner, almost in counterpoint to Pretoria's Corp that lies in the west of the southern region of the Kruger National Park. The valleys are home to trees rarely found in other parts of the Kruger Park, such as the Cape chestnut, coral tree and lavender, feverberry, and granite lies beneath most of the region, producing distinctive smoothed copies at irregular intervals, which are typically surrounded by rock figs and form ideal locations for rock dassies or hyrax, baboon and klipspringer, not to mention the odd leopard. This is the region where you're almost sure of seeing a white rhino, as most of them occur here, particularly around Pretoria's Corp, by Meaty River and south of Lower Sabi. On the whole, there is more game purported to exist in the southern part of the park, so if you don't make it to the northern reaches of the Kruger National Park, you won't miss out. This part of the Kruger Park is to some extent shrouded in history. Around Pretoria's Corp, known for its profusion of trees, is Ship Mountain, its hull-shaped the site of an old wagon trail that crosses a stream marking the birthplace of Jock of the Bushveld. The Combratum woodlands, also part of this region, attract reasonable herds of kudu, impala, giraffe, buffalo, zebra, white rhino and elephant, and the scarcity of lion in this part of the park makes way for the cheetah and wild